Hello, am I audible to you? Please reply. Can you hear me? Yes or no? Yes, अर्जू आ गई है, प्रमोदिनी, प्राची, रामेश्वर. What about others? Yes. So shall I start the lecture? Omkar, Nutan, Sabha, all are there. So what we were talking about in last lecture? Please tell me what we were talking about. क्या देख रहे थे हम लोग in the last lecture? I think we have started one chapter, that is errors in quantitative analysis. Correct? Yes or no? About the titration types and their definition. Nutan is saying titration types and definition. No. We finished that and we started. Yes, correct. Vaishali is saying errors. We were talking about the errors. We have started the chapter. Chapter number 3 we have started actually. That is errors in quantitative analysis. And we have seen some introduction about the errors, definition of errors, then types of errors we have seen, and then we have seen the difference between systematic error and random error. So broadly these errors are classified, correct, different. Chaitanya is saying different between systematic error and random error. So these errors, broadly errors are classified into two types, systematic error and random error. These systematic errors, they can occur with regular intervals, so they are called as a systematic error. And as we know the cause or origin of this error, so we can determine the error, so it is also called as a determinate error. And so as you know the cause or origin or reason behind that error, we can eliminate it, we can reduce it. While a random error occurs when one can take the multiple time. One can do that experiment in multiple times, say more than 50 times, more than 100 times, then these errors do occurs. So these random errors, the exact origin or exact source or exact reason behind that error we don't know. That's why we cannot determine it. So it is also called as an indeterminate error. It is also called as what? Indeterminate error. And due to this we cannot avoid this we cannot avoid this indeterminate error. Why? Because we don't know the cause, or we don't know the origin, or we don't know the source or reason behind that error. That's why we cannot avoid that random error completely, but we can avoid the systematic error or determinate error. So I think ये हम लोगों ने देख लिया था, correct? So we will see today the different types or classification of systematic error and random error. ठीक है? So this systematic error or determinate error, they are divided into four main types. They are divided into four main types. So we will going to see each of them in detail. So shall I start the lecture now? Yes or no? आ गए सब लोग और नहीं आ गए? जल्दी से बोलो, so I can start the lecture. It is almost 2:30. It is almost 2:30. So everybody has to come. Otherwise we will start the lecture. Only Chaitanya is listening to me or what? Yes, Priyanka, Newton, Pramodini. ठीक है. So Atharva is there, Sayant is there. क्या नाम है? Sayantan. Sure sir. Okay. Omkar, Arju, Ganesh, Rameshwar, Pramod. So we'll start today's lecture. ठीक है. Okay. Vidhi is also saying yes sir. So we'll start. This is lecture number 2. We are discussing the chapter number 3, that is errors in qualitative analysis, and this is lecture number 2. ठीक है. So we will start. So first of all we will see the types of systematic errors. Types of systematic errors or determinate error. Types of systematic error or determinate error. Now these systematic error, it is classified into 4 major types. It is classified into 4 types. Which 4 types are there? These 4 types are there. So type 1 is operational or personal error. This is type 1, operational and personal error. Then type 2 is instrumental error or and reagent error. This is type 2. This is type 1, operational. This is type 2, instrumental and reagent error. Type 3 is method error, and type 4 is additive error and proportional error. So these systematic errors, they are divided into these 4 major types: operational and personal error, instrumental and reagent error, method error, and additive and proportional error. So what these errors exactly, we will see in details each of them. So first we will start with operational error. So first we will start with this operational error. Okay. So these operational errors, for this error, analyst which is performing that experiment or chemist which is carrying out that experiment, that analyst is responsible. So it is a operational error. Who is operating that instrument, or who is performing, or who is monitoring that experiment, that person is responsible for this type of error. But method or whatever procedure is there, that method and procedure, they are not responsible for this type of error. Who is responsible? Analyst, or the person who is doing that experiment, the person who is monitoring that experiment, the person who is operating that instrument, that person is responsible for the operational error. That's why it is called as a personal error. That's why it is called as a personal error. It occurs when improper analytical technique is used. So when do this error occurs? It occurs when improper analytical technique is used. कब हो जाता है ये error? When improper analytical technique is used. For example, if you have given inorganic salt and you have asked, if you have given inorganic salt, for example AgNO3 silver nitrate, plus you have given NaKCl, this salt you have given, and you have asked to carry out inorganic qualitative analysis. Inorganic qualitative analysis. For example, this salt, inorganic salt you have given, and you have asked to carry out the inorganic qualitative analysis. So in inorganic qualitative analysis, what you have to perform? You have to find out 2 acidic and 2 basic radical. But instead of doing this inorganic qualitative analysis, students mistakenly perform organic qualitative analysis. Student mistakenly perform organic qualitative analysis. So instead of getting this 2 acidic and 2 basic radical, you will get the false result. So who is responsible for that? Who is responsible for this? The person, or that student is responsible for this. Understood? Not the method or procedure of analysis which is used for that reaction. ठीक है ना? So For example, mechanical loss of material during the various processes. For example of operational error is what? Example of operational error is this: mechanical loss of material during the various processes. Mechanical loss of error during the various processes. ठीक है. For example, washing of precipitate, ignition of precipitate at incorrect temperature, then not proper cooling of crucible before the washing, allowing the hygroscopic material absorbing the moisture before, during and weighing. So these are the some examples of operational error. Personal error. Now what is personal error? Personal error may arises from poor personal error may arises from poor personal error may arises from poor color perception or color blindness. For example, one student is doing titration. For example, a student is doing titration and he has a color blindness, so he cannot detect the correct endpoint. He cannot detect the correct endpoint. So this is the example of personal error. Then second, why do these personal error occur? The tendency of analyst to over or under titrate the solution. For example, some students they are over adding the solutions. एक भी ड्रॉप अगर उसने उन्होंने ज्यादा ऐड कर दिया ना, so it will get false endpoint. So you will get false endpoint. So this is due to what? This is due to the personal error. That's why this is due to the personal mistake. So it is called as a personal error. Then errors reading in burette also. Failure to make homogeneous solution. Some people, they just add the reagent, they don't check it, and they go to the titration. So homogeneous solution will not form. And if homogeneous solution is not formed, then you will get the incorrect or wrong endpoint. So this is first type, operational error and personal error. This is talks about the whatever the analyst or chemist or person who is performing that experiment, that person is responsible and not the method or procedure which is involved for that experiment, which is not responsible for these kinds of error. Okay, so this is your first type of systematic error or determinate error. Which is first type? That is operational and personal error. Then second type is instrument and reagents error. Now this error occurs due to the faulty instrument. These errors occurs due to the faulty instrument or some improper instrument or some reagent error also. So for these errors, that person is not responsible. Person is doing very good thing. Person is not responsible. That instrument is faulty. That's why that error comes. The person is performing the correct procedure or he is doing correct act, but the instrument is faulty or the reagent they contain some impurity, or for example lab grade reagent is there, they are not pure. Lab grade reagent, they are impure. So due to this also, this instrumental error or reagent error they occurs. Now first point is what? Incorrectly graduated burettes and pipette. Which instrument? For example, incorrectly graduated burettes and pipette. For example, you cannot see the correct graduation. We cannot see the zero. We cannot see the proper lining on burettes or pipettes. Then also this error occurs. Then second point is use of reagent containing impurities. For example, lab grade reagent is used. LR grade, GR grade, lab grade reagent, LR grade, it is impure. So if you are using LR grade reagent, then some impurity is there, and due to that impurity error may come. So to avoid this error, you have to use AR grade, that is analytical grade reagent, and which is 99.99% pure, which is 99.99% pure. So we can avoid these kinds of error by using a AR grade reagent. AR means analytical grade reagent, LR means laboratory grade reagent, which is impure one, and AR is pure one, 99.99%. 49 quality of that reagent is there. Then loss in weight. Next point is loss in weight of crucible upon strong heating. For example, some silica crucible are there, and the quality of that crucible is not good, so they can lose their weight during the strong heating. So due to this also, this instrumental error or reagent error may occur due to the loss in weight of crucible upon strong heating. Then second, not properly calibrated instrument. For example, there are some instrument there, we have to calibrate them. Before using that instrument, we have to calibrate that. For example, pH meter is there, conductometer is there, calorimeter is there. So we have to calibrate that instrument. So if that instrument is not calibrated one, then also that instrument will give you a faulty reading. So due to these 4 points, this instrumental error or reagent error, they may occur. For this, that particular instrument or that chemical is responsible, not the person who is performing that experiment. So this is type 2 of systematic error, that is instrumental and reagent error. Then third type of error is method error. Now in this error, in this kinds of error, not the person is responsible, nor the instrument, or not the chemicals. So who is responsible for these kinds of error? The method, that is the method or procedure, that method is responsible for these kinds of error. So procedure, for example, that procedure contains some wrong step, so that procedure is responsible for these kinds of error, not the person or instrument. So we have to give the SOP. SOP means what? Standard operating procedure. So that procedure must be calibrated one. That procedure must be free from we can say what, that mistake, or free from errors. Then only that method we can use. For example, decomposition or volatilization of compound on ignition. This is the first reason due to which this method error comes. Then co-precipitation and post-precipitation. Then co-precipitation means what? For example, we are doing a precipitation reactions. And there are some reagents, they get precipitated along with your product. That is called as a co-precipitation. Along with, at the same time, when that product is precipitating. Okay, product is forming precipitate, at the time some reagents are there, they can also form a precipitate. So this phenomenon is called as a precipitation. So due to this co-precipitation also error will come. Then post-precipitation means after the completion of your reactions. For example, your reaction is complete, now there are some chemicals or compounds, they will get precipitate after the completion of your reactions, and due to this also the error may occur, and that error is called as a method error. So this co-precipitation and post-precipitation occurs which introduce the method error. Then occurrence of induced or side reactions. This is also important. Occurrence of induced or side reactions. For example, there are some chemicals or there are some reagents which can give side reactions also. Along with your principal reactions, there are some side reactions also. So they can give you a faulty result, or they can give you a incorrect product. Okay, so this is also important topic. Then failure of reaction to proceed for completion. Now there are some reactions whose equilibriums cannot shift to the right hand side. There are some reactions, their equilibrium cannot shift to the right hand side. That means that reactions will not go to the completion. Due to this also you will get a less yield or less product. So these are the method errors, which is third type of systematic error. So why do this method error comes? The first point is what? Decomposition or volatilization of components ignition. Then co-precipitation and post-precipitation is there. Then occurrence of induced or side reactions will take place, and failure of reactions to proceeds completion. So due to this also this method error comes. Then the next point is additive or proportional error. Next type is additive or proportional error. Now why do this error comes? The additive errors are loss in weight of crucible. These additive errors are comes due to loss in weight of crucible in which precipitate is ignited, and error in weight may occur. For example, there are some crucible, they tends to lose their weight upon strong heating. Due to this also this additive error or proportional error will come. Then second point is the proportional error may arise from impurity. This proportional error may arise from impurity in a standard substance, which leads to the incorrect molarity or standard solutions. For example, there are some standard substance, primary standard substance we can say, and while calculating the concentration or molarity of that substance, for example, there are some impurity. That impurity also comes into the to the weight, and we will get the incorrect molarity. And if you get the incorrect molarity, you will get the wrong endpoint in the titration. We will get the wrong endpoint in the titration, or that standard solution is not of that molarity which we are going to prepare. Okay, so these are the additive error and proportional error. Four main types of the additive error and proportional error that we have seen. Then next we will see the accuracy and precision. Accuracy and precision. This is the most important time. This is the important और the most important, द लगाने से वो important हो जाता है. It is a VVP, it is VVP VVIP topic. ठीक है. So this accuracy and precision बहुत ही important है. So what this accuracy or precision is? So accuracy and precision, these two are important factors. Accuracy and precision, these two are important factors that needs to be considered when taking the data measurements. For example, we are taking the data measurement, then we have to take into account that accuracy and precision. Okay, both these terms reflects how close the measurement is to known or accepted value. For example, if you know the accepted value or true value, then we can compare our data measurements with this accepted value or known value by knowing the concept called as accuracy and precision. So this accuracy and precision, these are the very important terms or very important factor that needs to consider when taking the data measurements. Okay, so we will see what is exactly accuracy mean. Accuracy किसको बोलते हैं और what is the precision. So we will see this accuracy and precision. First we will start with accuracy. So definition of accuracy. If you have notebook and pen, you can write down the definition of accuracy. So what is this accuracy? Accuracy is defined as closeness of the measurement. Accuracy is defined as closeness of the measurements to the true value, so or accepted value. What is the definition? Accuracy is defined as closeness of the measurements to the true value or accepted value. So this accuracy is nothing but the degree of closeness of measurements, degree of closeness of your results to the true value or accepted value. So this is accuracy. Now for this analytical method, or while doing the analytical data measurement, accuracy is expressed in terms of absolute error or relative error. So accuracy is generally expressed in two terms. Which two terms are there? Absolute error and relative error for analytical data measurements. For analytical data measurement, accuracy is expressed in terms of absolute error and relative error. So what is this absolute error? What is this relative error? We must understand this. So then only we can understand what is accuracy. So we will express accuracy in terms of absolute error and relative error. So starts with the absolute error. First we will start with the absolute error. Definition of absolute error. This absolute error is indicated by capital E. Absolute error is indicated by capital E. Okay, it is a symbol of absolute error, that is capital E. Then we will see the definition. Write down the definition of absolute error. The difference between measured value, absolute error is the difference between measured value or observed value and to the true value including its sign is called as absolute error. What is the absolute error? Absolute error is the difference between measured value or observed value and true value including its sign is called as absolute error. The positive or negative sign indicates high or low value. Positive or negative sign indicates high or low value of your result. For example, if the measure result value is low, for example your result value is low, then the sign is negative. For example, if you have performed one result and that value of that result is low as compared to your true value, then the absolute error will get a negative sign. Then the absolute error will get a negative sign. And if your result value is higher than the true value, if your measured value is higher than the true value, then your absolute error you will get a positive sign. So this absolute error or this definition of absolute error you can write in the form of equation, or we can write it in the form of a formula. So what is the formula for absolute error? Here is the formula. Absolute error small e is equal to absolute error small e is here. Absolute error small e is equal to observed value or measured value minus true value. This is the formula. We have to remember this formula. Absolute error e is equals to observed or measured value minus true value. So we can simplify it. E is equal to O minus T. We will simplify it. E is equal to O minus T. So this O means what? This O means what? This O means observed value. This O means observed value or measured value, and this T means, this T is the true value. This T is a true value, and you have to give the unit, whatever the unit is there. For example, you are performing this experiment in length, then you have to give the length. Absolute error will have the unit length. For if you are doing that experiment in case of length, in case of gram is there, so you will get the unit gram. Okay, so this is the formula. Please remember this formula. What is this formula? Absolute error is equal to observed value or measured value minus true value. If we simplify it, E is equal to O minus T, where O stands for observed value or measured value and T stands for a true value. Now we will see example. For example, this is example. A sample, a 4.2 gram sample, a 4.2 gram sample of a substance, for example sugar sample, you can say a sugar sample, is reported as 4.32 gram. Find the absolute error. So we have given this example and you have to find out the absolute error. Now you tell me what is the O in this equation, or what is the T in this equation. You people tell me. What is the value of O? O means what? O means a observed value or measured value, and T means a true value. Now you people tell me what is O and what is T. क्या है? Observed value कितनी है यहाँ पे? Please reply. A 4.52 gram samples of a sugar substance is reported. O is observed value is 4.32 gram. Prachi is saying observed value is 4.32 gram and T is correct. Prachi is correct. Anjay is correct. ठीक है. O is 4.32. So here I will write here 4.32. Observed value is 4.32 gram and true value, this is true value, 4.52 gram. ठीक है. Correct. Observed value is observed value is 4.32 gram and true value is 4.52 gram. Then what is your formula? Formula is absolute error is equals to O minus 2. Just put the values and tell me the answer. Just put the values of these O and T in this equation and tell me the answer. Just put the values of O and T in this equation and tell me the answer. Prachi Yadav is saying minus 0.20 gram. Danish is saying minus 0.02. So just put the values. E is equal to 4.32 minus 4.52 will give you, this is the correct. So absolute error is equal to, E is equal to minus 0.20 gram. Give the unit also and give the minus sign. Minus sign is also important. Shruti, minus sign is important. Sabha is correct. Shruti ने minus नहीं लिखा था. Chaitanya, Sandesh correct. So you know how to calculate absolute error. Yes or no? Now आप लोगों को पता चल गया है कि absolute error कैसे find out करते हैं. Yes or no? Then we will go to the next topic. Akansha is also saying minus 0.2 gram. Give the unit also, gram. ठीक है, चलो okay. Prachi, okay. So we'll go to the next topic. Next topic is relative error. We have seen absolute error, then we will see the relative error. So write down the definition of relative error. Definition of relative error. What is the definition of relative error? The absolute error value is, so relative error is defined as, or relative error is nothing but absolute error is divided by true value is called as relative error. So what is relative error? You have to divide whatever the value of absolute error, that value you have to divide by a true value. This is the definition. The absolute error value is divided by the true value is called as a relative error. What is relative error? The absolute error value is divided by true value is called as a relative error. This is the definition. Now this relative error is more useful quantity than absolute error. Generally in chemistry or in any data science, relative error are used, not absolute error. So this relative error is more useful quantity than the absolute error, and this relative error is generally expressed in terms of percentage. It is generally expressed in terms of percentage, or it is generally expressed in terms of PPT, parts per thousand. So these two ways are there by which we can express the relative error. Relative errors are generally expressed in terms of percentage or parts per thousand. For example, we will write the equation. We will write the equation for relative error. So RE is equal to RE means what? RE is the relative error. What is relative error? Absolute error. EA is what? Absolute error divided by true value. TV stands for true value. AE stands for absolute error. A stands for absolute error and TV stands for true value. TV stands for true value multiplied by 100. Then relative error will express in terms of percentage. So this is the first formula of relative error, that is RE is equal to absolute error divided by true value multiplied by 100. This is first formula in terms of percentage. Then RE is equal to AE, that is absolute error divided by true value multiplied by 1000. Then it is called as a PPT, parts per thousand. This is the second formula. Then it is called as a PPT. It is called as a parts per thousand. This is second formula. So we can express the relative error in terms of percentage, or we can express this relative error in terms of parts per thousand. जो कुछ भी आपको पूछा गया है, according to that you have to use these two formula. ठीक है. First formula is RE is equal to AE divided by TV multiplied by 100, that is in terms of percentage. Second formula, RE is equal to AE by TV multiplied by 1000, that is in terms of PPT. So this is the relative error. Relative error does not have a unit. Very important point. Relative error does not have a unit. Okay, while absolute error has a unit. Relative error does not have a unit. Absolute error has a unit. Please remember this. This is very important topic. This is very important point. Which point? Relative error does not have a limit. So why this does not have a limit? Let's see one example. Let's see one example. A measured value, example is, write down this example also. A measured value is found to give 7.44 gram. Measured value कितनी है? 7.44 gram and true value is 7.55 gram. Then what is the relative error? So this example is given, two values are given, you have to find out the relative error. So to find out the relative error, first you have to find out the absolute error. First you have to find out the absolute error. What is this absolute error? It is nothing but the observed value minus true value. So tell me the value of AE here. Tell me the value of AE. You have given O, you have given T, you have given T also, that is observed value and true value. So tell me the value of absolute error in this example. This absolute error you will require while calculating the relative error. So if relative error is asked, you have to first find out the absolute error and then we can find out the relative error based on that absolute error. So first tell me the value of absolute error in this example. Correct. Ankita Ray is saying, Sandesh is saying minus 0.11. So it is a minus 0.11 gram. It is minus 0.11 gram. Correct. Arkit is also saying minus 0.11 gram. Then you calculate relative error. Then you can calculate a relative error. Relative error is nothing but absolute error divided by true value. Absolute error divided by true value multiplied by 1000, that is in terms of percentage, and relative error AE divided by TV in terms of multiplied by 1000, that is in terms of PPT. Tell me the value for both these formula. Tell me the values for both these formula. क्या है आंसर? क्या है आंसर? बोलो जल्दी. Yes, Anjas is saying minus 1.45% and minus 14.5 in PPT. Correct. Very good. So this is the example of relative error. So very good. Prachi ने भी आंसर दिया है. चलो, that means you understood how to calculate absolute error, how to calculate relative error. Yes or no? You understood or not? Yes or no? Correct. Everybody is giving answer now. अच्छी बात है, आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है. Very good. Yes sir. Very good. Then we will move to the next topic, and the next topic is precision. Next topic is precision. Very important topic also. This is also important topic. Precision is also important topic. Very good. Sabha, Sandesh, they are saying yes sir. Omkar, Shivani, Danish, Pramod. Very good. Very good. Chalo. Then we will see the precision. Definition of precision we will see. What is the definition of precision? The degree of agreement between replicate measurements of the same quantity. It is nothing but the degree of agreement between replicate measurements of the same quantity or reproducibility of the number of similar measurement under identical condition. For example, one person is doing one experiment for a multiple time, and that value or the result which are in good agreement, then that is called as a precise experiment. That is called as a precise experiment. When the all the value, for example all the 50s values, they are close to each other or they are close to the true value, then that is called as a precise experiment, or they are called as a precise. For ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है? और to get clear idea between accuracy and precision, to get clear idea between accuracy and precision, we will see these figures. We will see these four figures. Figure A is there, figure B is there, figure C is there, and figure D is there. Now in this figure is called as a arrow eye bulls experiment, bull's eye experiment, arrow and eye bulls experiment. Now this figure A, what does this figure A means? Anybody tell me what does this figure A means? क्या मतलब होता है फिगर ए का? फिगर ए मीन्स व्हाट? What is the meaning of figure A? Figure A means good precision. Figure A means good precision and good accuracy. Figure A means what? Figure A means good precision and good accuracy. So these results are, they are precise and they are accurate. All the points are inside this true value or close to the true value. This first circle is called as a true value or target. This first circle is called as a true value or target. So they all are in that first circle. So they are accurate, and all the 4 points are in that, so they are called as a precise one. They are called as a precise one. Now for this second figure B, tell me about this figure B. Tell me about figure B. Whether it is precise, good precise or good accurate. क्या है figure B? Figure B means what? Anybody? Figure B. Figure B means what? Figure B means poor precision, good accuracy, poor precision. No, they are not accurate. Tanishka is saying good accuracy, poor precision. No, poor precision and poor accuracy. Poor precision and poor accuracy, because if they has to be accurate, all points should be in this first circle. They are not in this point, so they are neither a good precision or nor a good accuracy. So poor precision and poor accuracy, not precise. ठीक है. Then third one, figure C. Third one. Correct. Chaitanya is saying both poor, both are poor. What about third? What about third? In third case, they are poor precise. In third case, they are poor precise. They are good accuracy. They have good accuracy. And in this case, good precision, poor accuracy. Good precision and poor accuracy, because they are not in this chart, in this circle. So they are high accuracy and low precision. Correct. So what about this figure D? Figure D tells the good precision and poor accuracy. Good precision and poor accuracy. So see here, figure A is what? Good accuracy and good precision. Figure B is poor accuracy and poor precise. Figure C is good accuracy, poor precise, and figure D is poor accuracy and good precision. So what is accuracy and what is precision? Now you can understand by or with the help of this figure. You can understand with the help of this figure. Okay. Then next type is methods of expressing precision. Next point is methods of expressing precision. So there are four methods. Which four methods are used for, or which four methods are used to express precision? Deviation. First method is deviation. Then average deviation is there. Then standard deviation is there, and relative mean deviations is there. So these four methods are there. These four methods are used to express the precision. But these four methods are methods of expressing precision that we will see in the next lecture. Okay? That we will see in the next lecture. ठीक है. हैव यू अंडरस्टैंड टुडेज लेक्चर और नॉट? समझ में आ गया आज का लेक्चर और नहीं? नाउ आई विल गिव यू 5 minutes. In these 5 minutes, if you have doubts, any problem, you can ask me. You can ask me if you have any doubts or problems. I will give answer, or you can rewind this video. I will send the link of this video to the Google Classroom. You can see this video also in Google Classroom also, and then you can ask me any problem if you have. ठीक है? So after this lecture, I will give you a Google Sheet for attendance. I will give you a Google Sheet for attendance. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? I will give you a Google Sheet for attendance. And in that Google Sheet, in front of your name, you have to write present. You have to write present if you have attended today's online session. Then only you have to write present. Otherwise, don't write present. ठीक है? In front of your name only. I will give you a Google Sheet. In that Google Sheet contains one column. In that column, your name will be there. In that column, your name will be there. And next column is of that next column is for your date, and in front of your name you have to write present. If you have attended today's online lesson, then only you have to write present. Otherwise, do not write present over there. So the link for that Google Sheet only active, or it will remain active only for 15 minutes. So within that 15 minutes you have to write if you are present or you have attended the online session. ठीक है? So shall I stop here? Shall I stop here? Okay. चलो, so we'll stop here.